Right. My father always wanted me to be a professional boxer. So much so that he named me after his favourite boxer, Muhammad Ali. My name is Kevin Cassius Clay Coleman. I think he wanted to call me the whole shebang and put the Idris in there and the Ali and the Muhammad, but which would have been fine. I ain't got no problem with that. It's the name Kevin that bothers me. I mean, I've got used to it now. But when I was a kid, people always say, "Oh, Kevin the Kitten," and then in high school, "Hey, Kevin the Gerbil" from Roland Rat. And I remember being at home and saying to my mum, I said, "Mum, why did you call me Kevin? What you call me Kevin for?" She said, "Oh, what's wrong with Kevin? Kevin's a nice name. It's one of the names we chose." "Oh, what do you mean chose?" I said, "Well, we got 5 pieces of paper. We wrote a name on each one of those pieces of paper. Your dad put them in a tobacco tin. We shook the tobacco tin, and then we took a piece of paper out, and the first piece of paper that we took out had the name Kevin written on it." And I'm like, "What, Kevin? So why didn't you just call me Cassius Clay Coleman? That's a cool name, Cassius Clay Coleman. Putting Kevin on the front of it is like putting lipstick on a fucking pig. I mean, why was the name Kevin even being fucking considered as a name for your newborn? Have some fucking class." Well, that was it back in those days. It was a popular name. Yeah, I bet it was. But I remember thinking that, because I was named after Muhammad Ali, that I'd be tough like Muhammad Ali. I remember I was arguing out in the street, and, I'd be like, "Yeah, don't mess with me because..." I'd go running into the house. "Oh, what are you crying for? Boys don't cry. Get out there and hit him back. Come on, don't be crying. Remember what I said, son? Rocky. And I go outside and hit me again. Oh, come on, don't cry. God almighty. You're a bloody disappointment, you are." Yeah. Because one of my earliest memories of going to the cinema, the first time I ever went to the cinema was when I was 3 years of age, and my father took me to see the first Rocky film. And I can remember in my mind's eye, I see the plush red seats, the dark room. I can smell my father's tobacco, and I have glimpses of Sylvester Stallone running down the streets of Philadelphia. And I think my father thought that if he took me to see Rocky at such an early age, the same way I remember he took me to an amateur boxing night, he thought that this would inspire me to be a professional boxer, which it didn't. All I remember from the amateur boxing night was blood and somebody crying. It just disturbed me. So it didn't have the desired outcome, taking me to see Rocky. But I think that's one of the main reasons why I like going to the cinema so much, is because it takes me back to a time when I felt safe and warm and loved in my father's hands, and he was holding me tight, and I could smell his tobacco, and it was, good times. He even called my dog Rocky. Somebody across the road, the dog had puppies, and we had one of them, and my father went, "Should we call him Rocky?" "Yeah, we'll call him Rocky." And one Saturday morning, I remember me and my dad were watching Batman, because my dad loved Batman, and it was the old Batman, the TV show. And I don't know if anybody remembers this. I'm going to have to check this out. But it was an episode where there was a shark, I think. I think Batman was on a boat or something. There was definitely a shark. And I remember I was just like, "Oh my God, wow." My dad was like, whoa. But back then, TV wasn't like it is today. You couldn't rewind it or pause it. At that particular time, we never had a video recorder. So if you missed it, you missed it. And all of a sudden, my dad went, "Oh, bloody hell, use Mike's Mobiles." And Mike's Mobiles was the name of an ice cream van. And the guy that drive it it was it was an Indian fella called Jim, and he come walking down our garden with a white carrier bag, and I'm thinking, oh my god, the ice cream man is coming to knock my door, and he has a white carrier bag. He's brought some sweets. He's brought some sweets. And I opened the door, and Jim came in, and my dad, you know, he's a big bloke, he could be a scary character, and she's like, oh, listen, Al, can I show you something? So he opened up the bag, and there's Rocky the dog, okay, he's all mangled, and blood everywhere, and, you know, it was coming out of the bag, and my dad went, oh, God, it's shitting everywhere. Yeah, don't worry, Jim, you didn't mean to run it over, these things happen, don't worry, it's all sorted out. And then I remember being in the living room, looking out of the window and seeing my dad going over the wasteland outside, and then he come back and dog, oh, I've just sent him up to heaven, I have. He's got up to heaven with all the moths and the spiders and everything. They'll sort him out. He's all right now. So now, don't start crying now. Come on. All right, boys, don't cry. And the reason that I bring up that story is because I have not thought about it for 45 years. And I remember the next day there was a knock at the door, and it was a couple of kids from the street. They said, oh, come out here. And we went out on the wasteland, and there's Rocky's corpse, like that. They were poking his eye out with a stick, or the eye was hanging off, but they were poking the hole. His guts was hanging out, and there was a dog licking the guts. And his jaw, they were moving the jaw. They would go, oh, look at his teeth. And they were moving his jaw, and they reminded me of that scene in King Kong, when King Kong grabs the jaw of Tyrannosaurus Rex and just breaks it. And the kids go, is this your dog, Kev? Is this your dog? And I'm like, no, that's not mine. That's not Rocky. Rocky's gone to heaven. He's gone up to Jesus. Yeah, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because this weekend, me, my mother, my youngest sister, and her two children, my great niece who's 1, and my great nephew who's just turned 4, we all went to Porthcawl and stayed on a caravan park called Trecco Bay from Friday to Monday. And the last time I went to Trecco Bay was when I was about 5 or 6, was when my dad was with my mum, and I think we went with my cousin Stephen and my uncle Les, who passed away last year. And I remember they were amazing times, family times, you know. And I was really excited. I really wanted to go. And but what happened? We were walking on the beach on Friday night, and my nephew suddenly stopped, and he went, oh, look at that. And there was a little dead baby crab floating in a puddle of water. And he went, oh, what about his mummy? His mummy's going to be looking for him, and his daddy, they're going to be worried. And what about his brothers and sisters? He won't be able to play with his brothers and sisters again. And he started crying, and it fucking destroyed me. And my default reaction was to go, oh, come on, everything dies. Don't start crying now. Come on, it's only a crab. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that because he's not my child. He's my nephew, and my niece is there, and I called her over and I said, Fee, God, he's crying, he's got to take her. And she took him off me, and he's breaking his heart. And I had to turn round and look at the sea, and I just broke down, man. And my family had to leave me for 20 minutes, so I didn't want to cry in front of them, but I was just breaking my heart. I couldn't stop. It just absolutely fucking destroyed me. And we went back to the caravan. I couldn't stop thinking about it. All I wanted was to have a drink. I wanted to have a drink, or I wanted to eat a ton of food. I wanted to smoke a load of cigarettes. I wanted to go to the bar. I wanted to ask somebody if they could get me some cocaine. And I wanted to meet somebody. I wanted to have sex. All those things. That's all I was thinking about, just to get away from the feeling that I had. And I realised I realised that that is the exact feeling that I've been running away from since I was a little kid, since I was about 5. And I have escaped that feeling or blocked out that feeling forever. First with food, watching movies, cigarettes, alcohol, weed, cocaine, ecstasy, to run away from that feeling. But I thought to myself, no, I'm not going to leave the caravan. I can't, because I knew if I said to my mum, I'm just going for a wander, she would know that I was going out there and would probably not come back, and would go and have a drink, and I'd fall off the wagon. I'd start smoking cigarettes again. I didn't want the children smelling the cigarette smoke on me, because I've packed it all in. Okay, I've packed it all in, especially since I had the stroke. And but yeah, I didn't go out. I just went to bed. I put my face in a pillow and I fucking cried for about, and it was 2:30 in the morning, and I cried myself to sleep. And you know, when people would turn around and say, what, on the first night of your holiday you cried yourself to sleep, it must have been awful. No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because I woke up and I felt fucking great. I felt great. I was very sensitive and raw, because if I thought about my nephew and the expression on his face, the sadness in his face, if I thought about that, I'd break down again. So I was very raw. And I've realised over the years, whenever have committed an act of violence, it's usually because I've had that feeling, and somebody has fucked with me at the wrong moment when I've had that feeling. And I'm not a hard man, I'm really not, but you know, I have just been spontaneous and punched somebody, or and I feel terrible afterwards. But it's that feeling, and yeah, just fucking, sorry. Sorry. I had that feeling. And but anyway, I'll come back to it was a big weekend, because for the last couple of weeks before we went, I said to my nephew, hey, you're going to teach me to swim? You're going to teach me to swim? And I can already swim, but I haven't been swimming for 30 years. And the reason I haven't gone swimming for 30 years is because I don't like my body. I'm a bit ashamed of my body. I mean, I've lost a lot of weight, and before the stroke I was going down the gym. But before that, I would never go swimming. I don't like people going near me. I went when I was about 10 or 11, and the leisure centre over in Llanrumney opened up, and my mum, me and my 2 sisters, my mum took us over to go swimming at the leisure centre. And afterwards, because I was overweight when I was a kid, when I was in the shower, a bunch of lads come in, they pissed on me when I was in the shower. They started slapping my stomach, pinching my boobs, and one of them took a shit, wiped his ass, and then stuck the shitty toilet paper on me, and they're laughing. I then called him the N-word, and they give me a proper kicking. And yeah, it was a horrible experience, because it was prolonged. They were, humiliating me in front of a load of people. Nobody was really stopping them, and it was a horrible experience. And also, I remember going swimming with a friend from school, and about a week later, then everybody was going, oh, little Willie, and he told everybody in school that I had a small penis. Yeah, I got a small penis. It's not a micro penis. The older I get, you suddenly go, oh yeah, it's average, just like everyone else's. But when you're 11, 12 years of age and you're developing, and you know that kind of shit can affect you, and it just yeah, and I forgive him. Okay, we're kids. I've done horrible things like that when we're kids. That's what it's all about, okay? And we're talking like the early 80s, so times were different. You didn't have the same information about, I hate using the word, fucking trauma and stuff like that. So, yeah, but anyway, that's why I've never wanted to go swimming. Because if somebody is going to make fun of me or humiliate me, there is a very good possibility that I might punch the fucking teeth out of their head spontaneously, okay? You know, and I don't want to do that because, yeah, I'll probably get arrested, and I'm 51 years of age. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to ruin the holiday. But all those things were present, and on the Saturday, I was building myself up to go and swimming. I was really nervous. I was sensitive from the night before. And I couldn't deal with it, and I bottled out. I couldn't go swimming, and I was devastated because I told my nephew so many times that I was, you know, he was going to help me to swim, and he's like, "Come on, Uncle Kevin," and I was just gutted. I let him down. I let myself down, and I had all these things going through my head of the past, and it just completely fucked me up. But I didn't fall off the wagon. I didn't have a drink, and I didn't take drugs. And I was nice as can be to everyone. I was quiet, okay? But I was raw because when I'm in that state, if somebody's horrible to me, if another man is horrible to me, I'm liable to just react. And, yeah. So, but anyway, the next day then, I went swimming. I just thought, oh, fuck it, because it's Trecco Bay, right? Porthcawl. I mean, usually, I'm the ugliest fucker on the block as far as where I live is concerned. And whenever I go on holiday, I'm always the fucking, I'm the ugly kid or the ugly guy. All right, I got no bones about myself. I'm a fucking monster. But when you go to Trecco Bay, Porthcawl, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I've got my own teeth, and I'm probably, this weekend I was probably about 16, 17 on the leaderboard as far as good-looking blokes is concerned. Okay? Other people had walking sticks, because I was going around with my walking stick. I'm very conscious of my walking stick, but I'm turning around and everybody else had a walking stick, and there was loads of other people in the pool that were really overweight, and all different shapes and sizes, and I just got in there, and it was fucking amazing. I have not got in the water for 30 years, and it was the best feeling ever. And as far as politics is concerned, I don't give a fuck who comes in next, just as long as they fix the swimming pool round the corner. Okay, I don't care who it is, as long as they fix the swimming pool, that's all that matters. I vote for anybody who's going to fix that fucking swimming pool, because I want to go swimming locally. But yeah, it was an amazing feeling. For me, it was a massive achievement. Other people had turned around and go, "Oh, you fucking soft cunt, what are you fucking tough?" But it was amazing. But because I've had the stroke, I still get confused, and because you know, I'm in the changing rooms and I'm uncomfortable about myself. But what happened was I went in there, I got changed as quick as possible, came out, me, and my mum and my sister then, and my niece, we all went down to the beach, and we sat there, and my mum suddenly went, you got different shoes on. And I'm like, what? Basically, I bought a pair of Crocs to walk on the beach, and yeah, I had somebody else's Crocs on. They were tight before I went swimming. They were really loose. And I went, oh, I thought they were looser. But the ones that I bought, they had holes in them, but these didn't. So somebody is walking around with my Crocs on, and they're probably, you know, after we made something, they're probably walking around giving it, wait, do my shoes have fucking holes in them? I don't think they had holes in them, did they? And they're tight as fuck. So yeah, and me and my mum was pissing herself laughing, and I got a video of that which I'll put at the end that my sister filmed, and it was a good moment, and it was so important that we had that belly laugh, because a belly laugh is just fucking great. No alcohol, no cigarettes, no drugs, no arguments, no looking for women, you know, just it was just me, my mother, my sister, my niece, and her 2 children, and it was fucking amazing to just sit on that beach in the sun and laugh. A proper laugh. It was amazing. It was great. But the thing that I'm proud of the most, and the thing that I love the most, that I'm glad, is that when my nephew found that little crab, and he felt all those feelings of sadness, and he was, you know, learning empathy, I'm so glad that I didn't ruin the moment by going, oh, come on, stop crying. Come on, boys, don't cry, because that's a cunt. That's a cuntish thing to do, okay? It's a normal feeling and a normal emotion. Doesn't matter if he's a boy, he's a child, and a child should be able to learn to grieve properly and not have an adult tell them how they should think, tell them how they should feel, and tell them how they should behave, especially adults that are fuck-ups like me. And I'm so proud that I didn't do that. And I'm so proud of my niece, the way that she held him and she explained things to him. You know, explained that, oh, you know, look, the water will come in and you'll take him out and you go back there. You know, it's just, it was a beautiful moment, and it brought up a lot of shit, but it was shit that needed to be brought up. And it's probably nothing compared to what some of you have experienced, but I don't want fucking sympathy. That's the last thing I want. Okay, I just, you know, I'm working through shit, and I'm using this channel to fucking express it right now. Okay, I apologise if it isn't that funny, but this is what I want to do. It's my fucking channel. Yeah. Because I realise that's a big trigger for me, is when people are shouting at their kids in a way that's inappropriate. I mean, my friends in my life will know, because I mentioned this around about a year ago. I was down the local Asda. I was standing on the bus stop, and there was these 2 lads, early 20s. One of them, they both had toddlers with them. One had a toddler in a pram, and the other one had a toddler on some reins. And they're both fucking smoking weed in front of the toddlers. You know, yeah, bruv. And the one prick said to the other guy, he said, oh, the thing is, your son, he's soft. Your son, he's too soft. My boy, he's an alpha. He's going to be an alpha. He's a fucking toddler. Toddler, you fucking stupid fucking degenerate fucking cocksucker. You shouldn't be allowed to fucking have kids. Alright, you fucking cunt. I wanted to push him in front of a bus. You know what? The child ain't going to remember. Take the child away. Give it to a family that can't have children, and I'll respect it. Instead of trying to bring it up to be something that his dad fucking ain't. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, that's what I said, you know, I got to take him back to his mum, but we'll probably end up having an argument, because, you know, I keep on telling her she's too fucking soft with him. She's too fucking... Oh, you fucking cunt. And his mum was probably a fucking donut as well. You know, one of these women that you know, accuses every person of colour that walks past the school of being part of a grooming gang. You know, one of those vicious, gossipy fuckers. You know, and every Friday night while she's over her friends, getting pissed on Bacardi breezes and watching To Catch a Predator non-stings on YouTube. She's left her children in the care of a new boyfriend who turns out to be a fucking Poundland version of Jimmy Savile. And then she won't take them. Oh, well, I didn't think he was like that. I mean, you know, he's one of the boys. He's, we've even got matching tattoos. He's one of the boys, and he's a Christian. You know, he's white. He's British born and bred. You know, it's not my fault. I wouldn't think he'd do that. You fucking, you know, all wrong-uns are bad. Okay, all wrong-uns are bad. All right, even the ones that you're fucking related to, you stupid fucking dozy cunts. Okay? Just because, you know, a child isn't going to be any less traumatized just because it's being victimized by somebody that's probably fucking related to you or looks like you fucking stupid cunts. Oh man, I'm sorry. Right, right, I'm gonna have to, because I'm gonna make myself ill again. Yeah, I'm not gonna go back on it. I'm not gonna redo it and calm it down. Okay, you're all adults. Okay, I'm just having a very strange few days, and I'm trying my best not to drink, not to smoke cigarettes, not to take drugs or anything, because I haven't done that for a long time, and all this has made me want to do it, and it's just, I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what the point to all this is right now, but I'm yeah, it's real, so why not put it out there? What the fuck, I don't care. I'm just, yeah, you know, I live in an area where you see men who want their sons to be tough, even though they're not tough. But they think if they make their sons tough, that it'll impress everybody else. You know, when behind closed doors, these men are abusive to their wives, and they're abusive to their children. Fucking, you know, I get it, man. You know, and it's just what, yeah, why, whenever I hear children crying or upset, it does something to me. I hate it, and, you know, we got somebody by me, and in the summer now, you know, they're drinking, and he's always shouting, you hear him in the house going, shut up, you fucking noisy cunts, fucking shut up there, and it's like, yeah, that guy should be just fucking dragged out into the street, and fucking beaten until he's fucking unconscious. Alright, because dude, you ain't teaching your fucking son to be fucking hard and fucking tough. You're fucking, it's fucking head up. You fucking stupid backward ass fucking cunt. Fuck you. You know? I'd love to fucking strangle that guy. Yeah. Well, right. Yeah, it just did something to me, and I started to realise that, yeah, when children are struggling and crying and they're feeling emotions and this and that, don't ridicule them for it. Don't scold them for it. Let them cry. Let them feel. That's what fucking life's about. Okay, that's why we got all men in this country fucking drinking the pain away and then fucking ruining their lives, fucking destroying and traumatising everybody that's around them. And they blame everybody else for their fucking misery and their fucking loneliness, when what they should be doing is you know, we live in a fucking country where you can get help now. And it takes balls to get that help. Alright, and that's what I'm saying. What is it? Fucking Mental Health Awareness Week? Okay, do yourself a favour and get a fucking... stop drinking. Oh, well, you know, I like a drink, you know, I like to go down the thing on the weekend. Yeah, the only reason you enjoy the company of your fucking stupid mates down the pub is because you're all fucking pissed. If you didn't have a drink and you stopped drinking, you suddenly realise they're a bunch of fucking morons. And they'd feel the same way about you if they stopped drinking. Alright? You know, is it that fucking amazing to you? And you know, if you enjoy your drink, I got no fucking problem with that. But if you're the type of stupid dumb fuck that fucking, you know, goes home then and starts traumatising his wife and kids because he's had too much to drink, because you know you've got shit that you haven't been fucking dealing with. Okay, that's who I'm talking to. You fucking assholes. Fucking, you know. Oh man, I wasn't gonna do any of this shit. Once again. Do I, what? Yeah, it's supposed to be funny. I'm going to try and make the next one a little bit funnier. But I'm going to keep this because, again, because it's real. Okay? And, yeah, I'll leave you with a video of my mum laughing just to round it off. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not well enough to go back on it and go back and forth. You'll have to bear with me. I know these episodes, there's you know, a bit of space in between each episode, but I can't help it at the moment, okay? I need to concentrate on myself. But anyway, peace and love to everyone, okay? Thank you for watching, folks. Take care. Bye.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. You what? You can't. Oh, I'm looking at, we're down on the beach we are at the moment. And I'm looking at Kevin. He's got some buggers. Somebody else's shoe.